from the Big Flem Studios in sunny Southern California. It's Big Flem's Pigskin Picks with your host, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming. Hey folks, and happy holidays from yours truly, your host, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here with another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Well, this podcast episode is a special edition episode where we're going to focus on the bowl games. Yes, folks, it's that time of the year for college football where we have our bowl games that lead up to the national title game on January 7th. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and kick this stuff off, folks. And I hope and pray that you guys are, having a good holiday so far. Like I said, wrapping up another work week. We're only, 4 shopping days left, and we got 11 days left in 2019. So make every day count, folks. So at least you can start off the new decade and a new year on a positive note. And like I said, be safe out there while you're doing your holiday shopping, and also be safe when you're traveling to wherever you're heading to spend time with your family and friends for the holidays. Alright, let's go ahead and kick off this special edition, this bowl game edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Edition. So far we got 2 games on the schedule for today. The first bowl game will feature the Frisco Bowl, where we have the Utah State Aggies at 7-5 playing against the Kent State Golden Flashes, who are 6-6. Right now they got Utah State at -7.5, and it will be televised on ESPN2 at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, or 7:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 Central Time, and 5:30 in the Mountain Time. So depends on where you're located in the United States. Like I said, Big Flem's going to pick Utah State to win that bowl game over Kent State. Alright, our next bowl game for today is the Bahamas Bowl down in Nassau. Beautiful Nassau. Where we have the Buffalo Bulls at 7-5 playing against the Charlotte 49ers, also at 7-5. Right now they got the Buffalo Bulls -6 as far as the odds are concerned, and it's televised on ESPN. Like I said, I don't know much about both teams, but I'm going to lean towards the Charlotte 49ers since I'm from the South, and I'm partial to Southern teams. So Big Flem's going to pick the Charlotte 49ers over the Buffalo Bulls in the Bahamas Bowl. Alright, we got a couple of bowl games scheduled for Saturday, the 21st. The first one we have is the Camellia Bowl, where we have the Florida International University Panthers, FIU, at 6-6, playing the Arkansas State Red Wolves at 7-5. And that will be hosted at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 5:30 p.m. on the East Coast, 4:30 Central, and 3:30 Mountain Time. And they got the odds at -2.5 for Arkansas State. And I guess we're going to stick with that. And it'll be televised on ESPN. So Big Flem picks Arkansas State over Florida International in the Camellia Bowl. And also the previous game, the Bahamas Bowl, for today, will also be televised by ESPN as well. Alright, our next bowl game for the 21st is the Las Vegas Bowl. Like I said, they'll probably move into that new stadium next year. That'll be the new home for the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders of the NFL. And it's a very nice stadium for what I've seen when I saw it early in the summer. We have the number 19th ranked Boise State Broncos at 12-1, taking on the Washington Huskies from the Pac-12, aka the Puke 12, at 7-5. Like I said, the Huskies really struggled this year, and Jacob Eason as well. And I don't think they're not going to pull off a win in this game. So Big Flem's going to go with the number 19th ranked Boise State to win the Las Vegas Bowl over the Huskies, because they got the odds at the Huskies at -3.5, and this game will be televised on ABC. All right, our next game is the next bowl game is the New Mexico Bowl, It'll be 11 o'clock. I guess that will be the first game on the 21st Pacific time. 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 o'clock in the Central, and noon in the Mountain Time Zone. So we have the Central Michigan Chippewas at 8-5 from the MAC Conference, taking on the San Diego State Aztecs from the Mountain West at 9-3. I'm a little bit familiar with San Diego State, the Aztecs, so we're going to go with San Diego State to win the New Mexico Bowl over Central Michigan Chippewas. And they got the odds at San Diego State at -3.5. And this game will also be televised on ESPN. Alright, our next bowl game is the Cure Bowl. Probably another new bowl game, because they always keep changing bowl game names every year. Well, we have the Liberty University Flames at 7-5, taking on my local Georgia Southern Eagles, who are 7-5. And they got the odds at Georgia Southern at -4.5. And this game will be televised on CBS Sports. So all you local folks there in Southeast Georgia, and you know who you are, from my neck of the woods, make sure you check out that game for Georgia Southern and support Georgia Southerns as they win over the Liberty Flames in the Cure Bowl. Alright folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition for bowl week number 1 here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Hey folks, this is Big Flem Radio and TV creator and host Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here, reminding you, the listeners, to be safe out there during this holiday season. Be cognizant of your surroundings while you're out shopping and celebrating the holidays. Park in a well-lit area. Place your purchases out of plain view, and definitely lock your doors, both your home and automobile. If you're out partying, please drink responsibly and catch a cab or an Uber, Lyft, etc. to take you home if you have way too much to drink. Don't get behind the wheel if you're intoxicated, because it's not worth losing your life or someone else's during this holiday season. Big Flem Radio and TV wants you to be around in the new year. Happy holidays!
With sewage or drains, call a non-caustic professional. Me. I'm your Roto-Rooter man. I can take care of any problem from the little drain to the big main. Caustic chemicals can be hazardous to your children's health. I'm not. In a world with more diseases than that lab monkey from Outbreak.
Hell to the nah, I am not touching that thing. Are you crazy?
Where unprotected sex can lead to appearances on a plethora of disgusting daytime talk shows. My baby mama hit me in the head with a blade. I had to get skinny with anything. There's only one hope left.
Prevent STDs and unwanted pregnancies with 100% pure latex Elastica condoms. You can fashionably wrap your units with colors that put Punky Brewster's wardrobe to shame.
They totally come to all the latest fall fashions.
Comes ribbed or with spermicidal lubricant and in Pinto, Mustang, Bronco, and for those who practically need a potato sack for safe sex, Clydesdale. And for those who still have hairy palms,
Well, don't worry, little buddy.
you've got 5 years to use them.
Elastica Condoms, official sponsor of the 2004 Olympic Games. Coming, available at a store near you.
Gnarly, dude. This is Jess Spicoli. When I'm out hanging 10, catching the waves, checking out the chicks, and skipping Mr. Hand's class, I'm listening to Big Flem Radio and TV. Oh.
Alright, welcome back folks. Like I said, of course, we're in the midst of the holiday season, and if you haven't purchased your gift or a specific gift, or you're looking for a specific gift, have no fear folks. Why don't you check out Big Flem's Radio and TV's website's online store. Yes, we have Big Flem Radio theme merchandise, as well as some other merchandise you can pick for your friends, loved ones, family members, your battle buddies, your co-workers, an alien from Mars and from outer space. Like I said, check out the website. You can also check out this podcast as well as 5 other podcasts dedicated to music, sports, talk, and veterans news and issues. Hey, like I say, also you can check out Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for week number 16 coming up this weekend for the NFL games, because you know the NFL season, regular season, is about to wrap up in another week or so, so make sure you check that out this weekend as well. So, like I say, if you want to check out the website, please, by all means, check it out at www.bigflemradiotv.com. Again, that's www.bigflemradiotv.com. Now, if you would like to leave us a comment or dedication, or you want to be a guest picker or prognosticator on this podcast show as well as the NFL edition podcast show, feel free to do so at our email at bigflemradiotv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv, one word, @gmail.com. Yes, you can also do the same thing on Twitter. Yes, folks, we're in the social media world as well. And you can do it on Twitter with the hashtag @Flem_radio. Again, that's @Flem, FLEM as in Mike, _ radio, RADIO. And also you can find us on Facebook with our Facebook group page at facebook.com/Big Flem Radio and TV. Hey, like I said, check it out. Like I say, you'll be surprised and you'll be interested. And also pass it on to your friends, neighbors, loved ones, family members, co-workers, battle buddies, alien from Mars and from outer space. Spread the word. Try to build our base here. And like I said, tell us what you think about a podcast. Like I said, it's been in the works and it's been hard over the last several months, but I'm finally ironing out the kinks and wrinkles and trying to bring you a quality product that you will be proud to listen to, so you can spread the word. All right, folks, let's get back to our picks, shall we? All right. Our next bowl game that we're going to pick for is the New Orleans Bowl, down there in New Orleans in Cajun country at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Also on a Saturday. It'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific time, which will be 9 p.m. East Coast time, 8 p.m. Central, 7 Mountain. Where we have the 20th ranked Appalachian State at 12-1, taking on the UAB Blazers, University of Alabama Birmingham Blazers at 9-4. Like I said, Appalachian State did pretty well this year. The only loss that they had this year was to my local Georgia Southern Eagles. But other than that, they had a great year this year. So they got the odds at Appalachian State at -16. And this game will also be televised on ESPN. So with that being said, we're going to go with the 20th ranked Appalachian State to beat the UAB Blazers in the New Orleans Bowl. All right, our next bowl game we have is the Boca Raton Bowl. It is in Boca Raton, Florida, right there in Broward County between West Palm Beach and Miami, and slightly north of Fort Lauderdale, if my geography is correct. For those living in that area, please help me out if I'm wrong, but I doubt if I'm wrong because I'm always good at geography. I'm not here to brag and stuff like that. But anyway, we have the Southern Methodist University SMU Mustangs at 10-2 taking on the Florida Atlantic Owls at 10-3. Lane Kiffin's last game since he took on a new coaching gig somewhere else, and he turned that program around in the last couple of years he was there. Lane Kiffin, of course, he used to coach the Raiders. He coached in college in Tennessee, and also he coached at USC. They ran him out of town. And also he was an offensive coordinator for Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. They won a couple of national championships together. And then he got his coaching gig at Florida Atlantic University. And now he's taking on a new coaching gig somewhere else. I forgot where, but if you know about the story, you know what I'm talking about. But getting back to the subject at hand, like I said, SMU has been pretty good this year, as well as Florida Atlantic Owls. And like I said, for Florida Atlantic, it's more like a home game for them. So they probably get that home field advantage vibe and stuff. But I'm going to stick with the Southern Methodist University Mustangs, the SMU Mustangs, over Florida Atlantic in a close one in the Boca Raton Bowl. All right, our next bowl game we're going to pick for, this is a Sunday game. Like I said, whenever you get a break from the NFL games, we have the Gasparilla Bowl. I guess that's how you pronounce it. That's another new bowl game in the mix, where we have the University of Central Florida, UCF Knights at 9-3, taking on the Marshall University Thundering Herd from West Virginia. Like I said, you ought to check out that movie, We Are Marshall. Like I said, it was a true story based on, there was a plane crash when they was heading to a football game many, many years ago. And a lot of the football players were killed in that crash. So that's an interesting story. So check it out if you can, if you have some downtime from holiday shopping, want to binge watch something, check out that movie. But anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, I'm going to stick with the UCF Golden Knights, over Marshall Thundering Herd in the Gasparilla Bowl. They have UCF at -17. This is also televised on ESPN, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Time, which is 2:30 p.m. on the East Coast, 1:30 Central, and of course noon, 12:30 in the Mountain Time. Alright, our next bowl game, it will be on Christmas Eve. There should be one game, so if you still got your college bowl fix, you can at least watch this one here. You got the Hawaii Bowl, where we have the BYU Cougars at 7-5 from the WAC, taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors at 9-5. So luckily for them, they don't have that far to go. They just take a hop on H1 on the interstate there in Oahu to the Aloha Bowl. It's a pretty nice stadium there. They always, if you're on vacation for the holidays there, check out the flea market they have there on Wednesdays every week. It's a nice flea market there outside the stadium. So please check it out, as well as check out Pearl Harbor and check out Honolulu and check out the Polynesian Cultural Center on the northeast side of the Oahu Islands, and also check out the North Shore. It's pretty nice. And check Ewa Beach as well, west of Pearl Harbor. And also don't forget to check out Waikiki Beach. Nice. This is a nice beach. I've been there before a couple of times, and it's pretty nice. As well as Diamond Head. You get a nice little view of Diamond Head and an active volcano crater there. It's pretty nice. But let's get back to the game at hand. And since this is like a home game for the Rainbow Warriors, I'm going to go with the Rainbow Warriors over BYU Cougars in the Hawaii Bowl. And they got BYU at -2. And this game is also televised on ESPN. Alright. Then our next bowl game we're going to pick for, we're going to have to take a break on Christmas Day. Like I said, we don't want to play because the NBA is going to be dominating Christmas Day. So for all these sports junkies out there. So you'll go the day after Christmas, after everybody unwrapped their presents and got a full meal and got their drink on and got their party on and everything for Christmas Day. Nice way to chill and relax the day after Christmas, when you go back and return their gifts, things that they got for Christmas that they didn't want, and just to make sure they don't send it to me, because I don't want it. But anyway, we have the Independence Bowl right there in Memphis, Tennessee. It'll be at 1:00 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 4:00 on the East Coast, 3:00 at Central, 2:00 in the Mountain Time, where we have the 9-3 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs taking on the University of Miami, Florida Hurricanes, aka the Thunderstorm, or the U, at 6-6. Right now they got Miami at -6, and it's also be televised on ESPN. But I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with Louisiana Tech Bulldogs over the Miami, Florida Hurricanes, aka the Thunderstorm, aka the U, for my folks down there in South Florida. So you know what's up for the Independence Bowl. Alright, our next bowl game, so this is the second bowl game for the day after Christmas, which will follow after the Independence Bowl, is the Quick Lane Bowl, another new bowl game. They keep changing bowl names every year. So we have the 7-5 Pittsburgh Panthers from the ACC taking on the Eastern Michigan Eagles from Ypsilanti, Michigan, west of Detroit. I've been there. I've been on that campus 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago. It's a pretty nice campus at 6-6. Then they're from the MAC conference. They got the odds of Pittsburgh at -11. So I would rather go with that then, folks. I'll go with the Pittsburgh Panthers over the Eastern Michigan Eagles. And it's also be televised on ESPN as well. Alright, our next bowl game, we have the Pinstripe Bowl, another new bowl name. Like I said, they always keep changing it up every year. And this is another one where we have the struggling 6-6 Michigan State Spartans. They really struggled this year from the Big Ten. Losing to Michigan, losing to Ohio State, losing to Wisconsin. I think they lost to Penn State this year, so they really struggled this year. And they're taking on the pretty good 8-4 Wake Forest Demon Deacons out of the ACC. Like I say, Wake Forest gave Clemson a run for their money this season. So with that being said, and they got Michigan State at -4 in the odds, and this game is also televised on ESPN. And this game will be on the 27th at 12:30 or 12:20 Pacific time, which is 3:20 on the East Coast, 2:20 in the Central Time, and 1:20 in the Mountain Time. With that being said, for the Pinstripe Bowl, we're going to go with Wake Forest Demon Deacons over the Michigan State Spartans. Sorry, Sparty. Hate to break the news to you, man. I like Michigan State. I'm a big fan of Michigan State, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get a win out of this one. Alright, and the last bowl game we're going to go with here. Well, I might as well go ahead and continue on because there's a couple other games that day as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up for the 27th. And right after that game, we have the Military Bowl. Representing our military folks down there in, I think it's in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, where we have the 6-6 North Carolina Tar Heels taking on the Temple Owls at 8-4. Right now they got the odds at North Carolina at -4, and it's also televised on the ESPN. Actually, that's the first game before the previous game, the Michigan State Wake Forest game. So I like North Carolina, even though they struggled somewhat this year. So Big Flem's going to pick North Carolina Tar Heels over the Temple Owls in the Military Bowl. Alright, the next game we have is the Holiday Bowl. We will start ratcheting up to more important bowl games pretty soon, right close to New Year's. We got the Holiday Bowl down in San Diego. I've been there, what was that, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, when Michigan State played and they won. They played Washington State in the Holiday Bowl, and I saw that one. It was pretty nice. But this time we have the number 22 ranked USC Trojans at 8-4. Like I said, if you haven't heard the news, their embattled coach Clay Helton got spared another year, so they decided to keep him on. So hopefully they can keep that momentum going and maybe have something to build on for next year, and hopefully he can keep his job next year. Number 22 ranked USC Trojans at 8-4, taking on the 16th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes from the Big Ten with 14 schools at 9-3. Right now they got the odds at -2 for Iowa, and this game is televised on Fox Sports 1, FS1, at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, which is a local game for the Holiday Bowl, and 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 Central, 6 Mountain. Alright. Not a big fan of USC, so we're going to go with Iowa Hawkeyes to beat USC in a close one in the Holiday Bowl. And I know the Georgia fans will not be happy about it, but I don't care. This is not their show. This is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks here. So unless they want to make a contribution to this podcast channel, then yeah, they can take whatever they're going to get. All right. Moving on to the next bowl game for the 27th, we have the Cheez-It Bowl. Wow, Cheez-It is sponsoring a bowl? Yeah, I like that cheese head in the commercials. It doesn't have a mouth. It's very funny, too. You can tell some corny jokes, too, as well. But getting back to the game at hand, we have the Air Force at 10-2 from the WAC, taking on the 6-6 Washington State Cougars from the Pac-12. Like I said, Mike Leach, he had a rough year this year with Washington State. But I'm going to stick with him to pull out an upset over the Air Force Falcons. I'm not a big fan of the Air Force. I like the Air Force. I've known some good people that served in the Air Force, and plus I have a cousin who's currently serving in the Air Force. But I'm an Army guy, so you know how that is. So we're going to stick with Washington State over the Air Force Academy Falcons. All right. In our last bowl game for the 27th, we have the number 25 ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys from the Big 12 at 8-4, taking on the Texas A&M Aggies at 7-5 for the SEC, the best conference in college football, par none. Well, like I say, this game can go either way, but I think I'll lean with the Oklahoma State Cowboys with a close win over the Texas A&M Aggies, folks. That's what Big Flem picks for the Texas Bowl. I guess you can say that's kind of a home game for Texas A&M Aggies. I'm assuming the Texas Bowl will be at AT&T Stadium, I presume. I could be wrong. And also they have the odds for Texas A&M at -7, and this also will be televised on ESPN. And also the previous game I forgot to mention, the Cheez-It Bowl, they had the Air Force Academy at -3, and that's also televised on ESPN. So, alright folks, we're going to wrap up another edition of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Football Edition here on Big Flem Radio and TV with part 1 of our bowl game week picks. And let's do a recap, shall we? Like I said, we have 2 games going on tonight. One should be already completed, but I'm going to give our picks for that game anyway, regardless. We have the Utah State Aggies over the Kent State Golden Flashes for the Frisco Bowl. Then for the Bahamas Bowl, we picked Charlotte 49ers over the Buffalo Bulls. And then for Saturday's game, for the Camellia Bowl, we picked Arkansas State Red Bulls over the Florida International University Panthers. For the Las Vegas Bowl, we picked the number 19 ranked Boise State Broncos over the Washington State Huskies. And for the New Mexico Bowl, we picked San Diego State Aztecs over the Central Michigan Chippewas. And for the Cure Bowl, we picked the local team, Georgia Southern Eagles from Statesboro, Georgia, the Borough, in Bullitt County, folks. So I hope the local folks are watching that game on Saturday. I shall be, if I have time, over the Liberty Flames. Then for the New Orleans Bowl, we have the number 20 Appalachian State Mountaineers over the UAB Blazers. At the Boca Raton Bowl, we have the SMU Mustangs over the Florida Atlantic Owls. The Gasparilla Bowl, we have the USC Knights over the Marshall Thundering Herd. That will be a Sunday game, if I'm not mistaken. Monday game. Excuse me, I stand corrected. That's a Monday game. So, like I say, if you have some time to catch some football while you're taking a break from all that last-minute holiday shopping, check out those games on Monday. Then our next bowl game is Christmas Eve. You know, once you get tired of all that last-minute shopping, we have the Hawaii Bowl. And also the folks that are vacationing in Hawaii for the Christmas holiday, make sure you check it out. And also check out the flea market as well if they're open for Christmas Eve. If you're in the area before then, check it out on Wednesdays, right there at the Aloha, outside the Aloha Stadium. It's pretty nice. I've been there and I like it. Like I said, we have the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors over BYU Cougars in the Hawaii Bowl. Then they take a break for Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas, 26th, we have the Independence Bowl. We pick Louisiana Tech over the Miami, Florida Hurricanes, aka the Thunderstorm or the U. Then later on that day, we have the Quick Lane Bowl, where we have Pittsburgh Panthers over the Eastern Michigan Eagles. And then on the 27th, we have the Pinstripe Bowl. We have Wake Forest Demon Deacons over Michigan State Spartans. Sorry, Sparty. Then later on that day, or earlier that day, we have the Military Bowl. We have the North Carolina Tar Heels over the Temple Owls. And later on that day, for the Holiday Bowl down in San Diego, at the San Diego County Credit Union Bowl Stadium, that is, we have the number 16 Iowa Hawkeyes over the number 22 USC Trojans in that game. And for the Cheez-It Bowl, later on that day, or that evening, you have the Washington State Cougars over the Air Force Academy Falcons. And last but not least, we have the Texas Bowl. I'm assuming it'll be played at AT&T Stadium. I could be wrong. We have the number 25 ranked Oklahoma State over Texas A&M Aggies. All right. There's our first installment of Bowl Week. And like I said, tune in again next time where we'll go with part 2 of Bowl Week. That will cover from the 28th all the way to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and probably on our way up to the 6th of January, close to the national title game. All right, folks. Again, this is your host, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming here. And again, I hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday. And make sure you be careful out there while you're doing your holiday shopping. And also, if you plan on traveling by air, train, or car, make sure you be careful. Be aware of your surroundings. And make sure you get to your destination safely. And for those who will be driving, make sure you don't drink and drive. If you plan on drinking, make sure you get a taxi, get an Uber or Lyft or whatever it takes to get you home, but don't get behind the wheel because you'll be jeopardizing your life as well as somebody else's, and it could be my life if I'm out there. All right. Until then, we're going to sign off for now, and you take care as we close out Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Edition for Bowl Week number 1 here on Big Flem Radio and TV. Big Flem Radio and TV is a production of Black Rebel Productions in association with Flem Media. The opening theme is a property of CBS Sports as well as NCAA properties. Big Flem Radio and TV does not profit from any music clips, nor do they own the rights to that. Again, take care and happy holidays, happy Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa, and tune in again for another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks College Edition here on Big Flem Radio and TV. God bless.
Flem Radio wants you to know that approximately every 51 minutes, someone is killed in a drunk driving crash. Buzz driving can also cause huge financial penalties with fines and legal fees. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Find out more at nhtsa.org.
You know, 48 years ago, when they opened the first In-N-Out Burger in California, they had just a single idea: to make the best-tasting hamburgers they could, with fresh patties of the best beef, sizzling hot and juicy off the grill, and hand-leaf lettuce, plump, ripe tomatoes, cooked to order just the way you want it. They wanted to make every hamburger up fresh to order, exactly the way each customer liked it. Back then, In-N-Out didn't think of using microwaves or heat lamps or frozen french fries or buns with preservatives. So today, you still won't find them here. For a really fresh hamburger, call 1-800-786-1000 for the In-N-Out nearest you.
Hi, I'm here today because I'm addicted.
Big Flem Radio and TV.
Get ready.
You know.
Now that's an addiction, man.